Hello everyone out there, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel. Today I thought that I would just sit down and have a casual little chit chat with you to share a little life update, which is not something I do very often, is kind of sit down and let you in on the specifics of what's going on in my life. But I thought that I would do that because there's been some big things that have been going on behind the scenes. I have my tea here. I'm drinking a delicious tea. This is like a fermented black tea with oat milk in it, which is delightful. I've discovered one of my new favorite teas is like either an English breakfast or an orange pekoe with oat milk in it. It's really, really good. I actually don't know the difference between an orange pekoe and an English breakfast. I feel like they're very similar, but if you know the difference, please let me know in the comments below. But very good with oat milk. So grab yourself a tea if you would like, or another drink, and let's catch up. So if you follow me on Instagram, I do tend to share more life update, kind of behind the scenes things over there. So you would already know that, I've shared a lot of wedding planning stuff over there, and I let you all know over there that we bought our very first house. But I know that some of you don't follow me over on Instagram, so I thought that I would just sort of, share some stuff here in a video. So Sean and I are getting married in just a couple of months. At the very end of June, I actually have a little engagement vlog that I made back in September that's up on my channel. I'll leave that link below if you want to watch it. We were just up at the cottage, and so we're getting married at the end of June, and overall wedding planning has been pretty straightforward for us. Both of us have been really keen on keeping things very simple, not too elaborate, not spending a whole ton of money. So in that sense, wedding planning has been pretty straightforward and seamless and just kind of enjoyable, and we've gotten a lot of stuff done, a lot of the big stuff out of the way. We're having a small backyard wedding at his parents' place in his parents' backyard, which I'm just so excited about. I feel like it'll just be nice and kind of a nice intimate day. But COVID, of course, has added that extra element of difficulty for sure. We've always wanted to have a relatively small wedding anyway, so in that sense COVID hasn't made a huge significant impact on the vision that we had for our wedding. But we still don't know how many people we're gonna have at our wedding, which has been frustrating because just because of restrictions, we're a little unsure. We're hoping to have at least 25 people. That's kind of been what we've been sort of planning for, but could end up being smaller than that. I just don't know. It's been one of those things that we would have definitely had our guest count figured out by now. It is hard. I definitely have been frustrated a bit throughout the wedding planning process, but at the same time, we're just gonna make the most of it, and that's really all that we can do. So that's what we're just trying to focus on, and it'll still be a beautiful day. I've been asked if we will be filming the wedding, and yes, we did hire a videographer, which I'm really looking forward to, along with a photographer as well. I've always wanted to have my wedding day filmed because I'm a very creative person. I film videos for a living, and I just have always thought it would be so special to capture that day. So fingers crossed also that there's no cancellations we have to make there. That's for sure. I do also, or I would be willing to share with you some frugal wedding planning tips. It's kind of a video idea that I had in mind. If any of you out there are also interested in planning a simpler wedding that's more cost effective and not spending too much money, because that's something that's been really important to us. It's how can we keep costs low? We didn't want to spend a fortune on our wedding, and so I've learned a lot through the process, and we've definitely been able to save a lot of money through our wedding planning process that I would be happy to pass along some wisdom to you. So maybe I'll make a future video on that. Let me know if you would be interested in that. So the other big thing that's been going on in our life has been that we bought our very first house, and I'm so excited to move and to get in there and to make it our home. It's been a long time coming. It's really been a long time coming, but we move mid-June, literally just about a week before our wedding, so June is going to be so busy. Both Sean and I have talked about, where we would maybe buy a place or where's the best place to settle down for a couple of years now. Really, it's been something that we've pondered and talked about. What seems like endlessly. It's just always felt like something that has almost been tricky to figure out because, you have kind of this criteria of what you want, what you're looking for, what's important to you in a house and in where you live. And it's hard to kind of put all the pieces together and find exactly what you're looking for. I don't know, I guess I felt a lot of uncertainty and kind of anxiety about the future, just uncertainty about the future and like, where will we live? Where are we going to settle down? So we live downtown Toronto right now. We lived in another apartment, a little one, much smaller than this. And then we moved here in this current apartment at the beginning of 2020. And it's worked for us, but it's also never felt like home to me. And I'm someone who really, really values and needs green space and just more nature in my life. And one thing that I'm really looking forward to for sure is just being in a quieter area, and there's so many exciting things. So basically this is what happened. This is kind of the story of how we sort of found the place. So like I said, kind of for the past year or even more, we would go online and just sort of see what the market's like, what's out there. We would, check out different neighborhoods. I've had this running list of different neighborhoods that seem like ones that could work within Toronto and also outside of Toronto. And a lot of you would probably know that the market has been wild through the pandemic, at least in Canada, and I through the US, I believe as well. Like, just a lot of people are moving out of big cities, which has made the housing market go, kind of skyrocket. And so it's been an interesting time for sure to be buying a house. But so yeah, I've really been just like keeping tabs on the market for a while now. And then in January of this year, what happened was we went for a drive to go look at kind of like a neighborhood. We just kind of casually wanted to just like in person go check out some areas to kind of feel them out. And we accidentally sort of pulled into this one little area, this little neighborhood, when we were sort of turning around doing a detour, and we found these houses, and I immediately was like, oh my gosh, I love these. It's just this adorable little area. And so that was my first little encounter with this neighborhood in January of this year, 2021. And then, later that night, I went online to see if I could find more information about them. And then it was just this huge whirlwind of, oh my gosh, these are perfect. It fit exactly what we were looking for from what seemed like searching for so long. It really just checked off all the boxes. It was within our price range, which was so important, but it also fits so many other things. Like it's surrounded by green space, big trees. It's in a quiet neighborhood, and we're close to family. I just, for the first time, had this feeling of like, we're gonna move here, that this is perfect.
Today is an exciting day because I know where we are going to live. This has been something that we've been trying to navigate for a while, Sean and I, trying to figure out where we should live, weighing all the options, weighing all the pros and cons. I'm far too excited. Hopefully, fingers are crossed. Fingers are crossed for so many things. I've had to remind myself, Megan, just trust that the right thing will present itself. The right thing will present itself. It just will. And I really feel like this has just presented itself. It's just bam! I don't know. It's like I just hope that one just pops up on the market right at the right time. Either I would be happy if one went on the market in like March or April or May. I really deep in my heart feel that one's going to go on the market and that we're going to put in an offer and it's going to go great.
And so from January of this year, since then, I had quite a lot of just anxiety about how is this going to all unfold, because, we spoke with kind of realtors and that, and from other information that we were able to pull up, the homes in that area don't come up on the market all that often. And so there was definitely a lot of anxiety about like, when will one come on the market? Will we be able to get it? Like, how is this all going to go? And I just felt there just was a lot of just excitement, but also like nerves, like how is this all going to unfold? And so anyway, one popped up on the market just a couple of weeks ago, and it was a crazy stressful whirlwind, let me tell ya, but we put in our offer and it ultimately got accepted. It was so exciting, but also very, very stressful. I feel it's easy to sort of think of buying a house or buying your first house or seeing other people buying a house, and it's just only rainbows and excitement, but it's also really stressful. I found it very, very stressful. But also, you know, once things all got sorted out, everything was smooth sailing, and we could finally start to relax and just, you know, really look forward to it. Sean and I, kind of our approach, I guess, with our home buying process, but also we kind of take this approach too with other like decisions, especially when they're big decisions, is like these 3 pillars, and 1 being logic, 2 being intuition, and 3 being fate. And that's kind of like the approach we took. So we had that logic element of like, you know, being realistic, making sure this actually makes sense, you know, what are the advantages, what are the possible consequences. So we had that like thinking cap on, but we also really exercised that element of intuition, which for me is so important. But that gut feeling, does this feel right? How does this feel? Like, what is that pull toward it, or is there a push against it? And then that element of fate too, which for us just means like, let's just see what happens. Like, let's just let it unfold the way it's supposed to, and like take the pressure off by sort of letting fate decide. Like, we're gonna do what we can do, we're gonna make the decision that we can make, but also understanding that there's like always a little element that's like out of your control. And so that was also part of our kind of house buying experience as well, and it really feels so meant to be. And you know, I just want to say before I finish things here today that if you are in any sort of season of waiting, whether that's waiting for, you know, a life event, or waiting to buy a house, or to get married, or have a pet, or graduate, or have a baby, or anything like that, all I just want to say here is that, as hard as it is, because I am such an impatient person and I'm such an overthinker and someone who, like, I don't know, I just like to know what's going to happen, but through uncertainty, I think what I've really learned is just trusting that everything will work out at just the right time. It's all gonna work out just the way it's supposed to, at just the right time. At just the right time. I also had a few of you guys over on Instagram ask me, is the house, like, does it need renovations? Is it a fixer-upper? What's the deal with that? So it's actually, not a fixer-upper. Now, it is a bit of an older home, which I personally love. I love homes that have some character, that aren't brand new. Also, because when you have older homes, you often will have them be in neighborhoods that have much more mature big trees, which I love, and it has that exactly. So anyways, it's a bit of an older home, but nothing major needs to be done to it. It's overall in good condition, but I do want to update the kitchen cabinets, and we'll do some like little updates, you know, to the upstairs bathroom and other little things. We'll do some painting. I cannot wait to get in there and to really just make it our own and to customize it a little bit. And we have a backyard, and we are moving outside of the city, just outside of Toronto. So still very close to Toronto, but not in Toronto. So I think that's everything that I wanted to share with you all today. A little life update, just so you know what's been going on. Life's been pretty crazy the past little while, for sure. Hectic, a little stressful, but also exciting. And yeah, you can definitely expect some house-related content in the coming months. And I can't wait to get in there and to share this kind of new chapter with you. And yeah. So that's it for today. Thanks so much for watching and for having a tea with me, or whatever you enjoyed, just hanging out with me for a little while. I will see you all in the next one.